Well, joining the conversation this evening is Mike Odeh-James, is a journalist and also a representative of Equipping the Persecuted USA. I also have Professor Yakubu Ochefu, who's a professor of economic history, and of course, he also joins this conversation virtually. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. Let me start with you, Mr. Odeh-James.
Yeah.
Benue State again being under attack. These attacks, of course, are not novel. They seem to keep reoccurring. Conversation seems to happen around it, but it seems like one is moving in circles. What are we missing here? Especially with this consistent pattern. What are we missing out?
Okay. Thank you for having me and for this question. I have from my own perspective as a journalist who has been on the ground and also a representative of Equipping the Persecuted, which provides humanitarian aid to victims of terror in Benue, in Taraba, in Plateau, and other parts of the Middle Belt. I will tell you that the reason why these things keep reoccurring is, number one, the federal government is not really willing to put its foot down and say, let us put a stop to this. The federal government has really not shown resolution effort to stop this very attacks against the indigenes of the state. That's number one. And I can give you an example. When you go to the northeast, the bulk of the Nigerian Army, Air Force, they're in the northeast, battling ISWAP, battling Boko Haram. But when you come to Benue, what do we have? When you come to Plateau, what do we have? And then, again, the perpetrators are not always being arrested. The perpetrators are not even taken as people who have levied war against the indigenes of the state. And who are the perpetrators? I would like to know that the federal government, the state government, and even some journalists are trying to hide the identity of the perpetrators and also trying to hide the identity of the victims. But let's put a name to who are the perpetrators and let's put a name to who are the victims.
I mean,
the victims are,
okay.
No, the victims are Idomas and the thieves in Benue State. The perpetrators, and mind you, let me put a caveat, not everybody, not every Fulani man is a terrorist or armed headsman. The perpetrators are Fulani ethnic militia. That's number two. And the Fulani ethnic militia are bent on taking the lands that belongs to the Idoma people, to the Chief people, and to other people of the Middle Belt, particularly the Efeyi attack. If you notice, before the attack, a week or 2 weeks before then, there was an attack in Otukpo, and the government did not arrest anybody. And the security, I mean, I was at Otukpo when the government said the government said it has boosted security from Otukpo to Otukpo. I didn't say, when I went there, I didn't see any security.
All right.
I didn't even see a policeman. You understand? So now this lackluster attitude of the government helps the terrorists to keep attacking.
All right, thank you very much.
Then, like I said, the terrorists themselves, they want to grab these lands for themselves.
Thank you. I will come back to you. I will come back to you, please. Mr. Odeh-James, I'll definitely come back to you, but let me bring Professor Tu into the conversation. Professor Ochefu, it's great having you this evening. I mean, maybe you'd like to react to some of the things that have been said, but I would also like your take on what seems to be the missing link here when it comes to finding lasting peace in Benue State.
The missing link basically is somebody taking responsibility for ensuring that all the parties that have differences are brought together. In our lexicon, you will hear of communal crisis. In our lexicon, you hear of attacks by unknown gunmen. And in our lexicon, you hear of Fulani bandits. But you will never, in all the processes surrounding this lexicon, see or hear of an individual so named, so arrested, so prosecuted, and so jailed. And so when you have a situation whereby nobody is brought to book for crimes that they have committed, but crimes that are now being nomenclaturized in strange words like communal crisis. Say communal crisis, there's no identity, nobody held responsible. You begin to see the thing reoccurring. So I agree with Mr. Odeh when he says the federal government has a big role to play. The security agencies have a big role to play in saying, let us arrest, prosecute, and jail or sentence to death for murder or sentence to prison for arson. And then we begin to see, we know that if you do this, this is what is going to happen to you. But insofar as we do not have that process end to end, we'll continue having attacks, people taking laws into their hands and getting away with it.
All right, thank you very much. Before we go on a break, I'm coming back to you, Mr. Odeh-James. Mr. Odeh-James, I mean, if you were to recommend solutions right now, maybe to the government, security agencies, to people that you feel are in the position to effect peace and change in terms of the security status of Benue State, what would you tell them?
The recommendation, like Professor Ochefu just said, is number one, for there to be peace.
We seem to, of course, have lost Odeh-James. Once we have him back, we'll definitely bring him on. But Professor Ochefu, I'm coming straight back to you. Still on the issue of solutions. Okay, I think we have Odeh-James back. Odeh-James.
To treat the attackers, these people, as terrorists. They have levied war against citizens of Nigeria. Let me take you back. If you recall, when Nnamdi Kanu came up with his Eastern Security Network, Buhari sent in soldiers, helicopter, gunboat, and the rest. When Boko Haram started theirs, the same. Why is the government not sending soldiers to deal with these people? So the first solution of panacea is treat these people like terrorists, kill them and jail them, arrest them. They are killing already and they are bent on killing. Secondly, let there be persecution. The DSS can do more than what they are doing. People are funding these terrorists. You can track the money where it's coming from. Like the Yellow case, a chief of a particular heading, community, cattle community, was arrested. Ardu, Mohammed Dono, Lawal Dono, was arrested, and he was, according to the DSS, he had a lot of, he paid money to bring from different states and outside the country, terrorists to come and attack Yelwata. We have such people within the country, and the DSS should know about these things. They are not doing enough, or they don't want to do enough. So, number two, the DSS ought to have tracked even the sponsors of this terrorism before the strike. Otherwise, people are going to be seeing it as, well, Benue, the Idoma nation, they are minority, so let these people come and take over their land.
All right, thank you.
And that is like what the government is doing.
All right, thank you very much. We'll go on a final break. Once we return, I'll be coming straight to you, Professor Ochefu, for your final take on this. Stay with us, we'll be right back. All right, you're still watching Politics HQ on News Central Television. I still have my guest with me on the program this evening. We just have a few minutes left. But let me come straight to you, Professor Ochefu. Professor Ochefu, on this matter, what are your parting shots?
Parting shots basically will derive from an open letter that was written by Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, calling federal government to call a summit of all stakeholders. Let us sit down and critically dimension the matters at stake. Now, for them to reach that conclusion means that there is some progress in thinking, because hitherto it was all on the offensive in terms of blaming everybody else apart from themselves. Now they've admitted that we have to sit down and have a brutally frank conversation with the various stakeholders. Like Mr. Odeh said, it's not just the Idoma, the Tiv, all the ethnic groups in Benue State are in this frontline fight. So when somebody says he wants to talk peace, we sit down and talk peace and see the terms and conditions of the peace. Otherwise, these tit-for-tat attacks will continue. Remember that the reason why we are having this stage of attacks was the unfortunate killing of one of their chiefs. And on that note, the young people from the Fulani ethnic group went on social media and said that they were going to retaliate, they were going to destroy the state, they were going to kill the people. Nobody has bothered to arrest them. But the innocent people were arrested on the Idoma side. So this type of situation whereby you have federal government that seems to be taking sides against one person over the other does not work. But where we all sit down and have a brutally frank conversation and say, this is the way forward, we sign off those agreements and hold anybody who breaks them responsible, then we'll be making some progress.
All right, but I mean, peace accords and agreements have happened over time, right?
Yes.
And we are still here. So what else can be done? In 30 seconds, strictly.
Nothing else can be done. If you sign a peace accord and somebody breaks that peace accord, you hold that person responsible. That's why when Mr. Odeh said federal government should take charge and make sure he puts his foot down. If they don't do so, it will be a question of we signed a piece of paper, somebody tears it up, and nothing happens.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time on the program this evening. Mike Odeh-James, journalist and representative of Equipping the Persecuted, USA. Professor Yakubu Ochefu, professor of economic history, also joining virtually from Benue. Gentlemen, once again, thank you for your time.